Hey guys, BreakWizard59 here, and welcome back to another exciting video series. And today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO Star Wars set ideas for Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. Now, in one of my previous videos where I made a LEGO Star Wars sets that need to be remade video, many folks were also wondering or asking me to do a just in general Lego Star Wars set ideas, sets that really need to be made and haven't at this time. And there is one thing. So I actually have made videos like that in the past. Here are a look at them. But I basically made condensed versions of Lego Star Wars set ideas back in like June of last year. And you can see I did Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 and 4 through 7 all together, and that was a bit of a quick brief look at it. So basically I just go like 10, 15 seconds at most per idea, just getting it out there. It's a bit of a list, and I thought, why not do a bit more in detailed version of this list? So rather than just quickly listing it out in like a few minutes, do a bit more of an in detailed, more of an analysis video on sets that really need to be made. And basically that's what's going to be happening today, but I'll also be updating the list. So you could say this is a bit more of a updated version of the video, as I have a few more set ideas that I didn't have in the last one. And also I'm actually adding sets like that need to be remade. Those are also kind of part of this list. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, first off, so we're going to go in chronological order of the movie. So, the first set that needs to be remade that I think is a big one, the Republic Cruiser. This was the ship seen in the beginning of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and this is what Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan used to get to the Trade Federation command ship. And even though this was such a briefly seen vehicle in Star Wars Episode 1, it's become a really popular vehicle. Now, this is just such a great vehicle with the bright red and dark red. It's just a nice combination, and it'd be a really nice vehicle to see remade, as there were a couple of flaws with this set, so I would be really cool to see a bit of a more structurally newer version of the ship made, maybe fix a few of the inaccuracies, but this would definitely be a great set to have remade. The next set that actually needs to be still made to this day, which is quite surprising, is the Trade Federation command ship. Now for this, I'm saying we have a bit of a playset version of it. You could have a mini scale or mid scale version, or even a UCS version, but I think a playset one would be the best. So if you've seen like the Lego Malevolence or the Venator, where they have like the main, like you can actually open it up and put minifigures in it, kind of the same thing. So the whole rounded area, the panel should just be able to be lifted off, like the rounded portion of the ship, and you can add like different scenes. So you can have that scene where the waiting room with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and the few destroyer droids. You can have one portion just for the bridge, one portion on the top for that like power generator, or the generator that Anakin blows up, and one for maybe a bit of a mini landing base. So that'd be a pretty cool set. Next off, another set that needs to be remade is the a set that needs to be made is a Trade Federation landing craft. Now this is such a great set. Of course, this again would be another playset version. You can add like a space for a ton of droids, and this picture on the bottom right, it's really bad quality, but this is from the one of the Clone Wars episodes where Jar Jar Binks impersonates the Gungan leader. And that would, if you've seen that episode, he comes into the ship and he has like a desk and chair, or a desk and like table, or a table and chair, and then Grievous is there also, and there's kind of like a meeting area. So maybe you can have something like that, just like a small table and chairs, and maybe a bit of a pilot's command center. So that'd be pretty cool to have, and again, this would be a playset version. Next off, another one that I think is a pretty big one, and that is like a bit of a Naboo swamp or Naboo forest. So here on the top, maybe a scene with like some trees and like Qui-Gon and saving Jar Jar, and again, similar, like a bit of a, I guess you can see a remake of the bottom set, the Naboo swamp set, but a lot more detailed, a bit larger, and maybe include Obi-Wan as well. So it'd be like a $25 set. and you get all your big minifigures in it. Next off, another set that needs to be made is the Gungan City. Now, this would be a bit of an interesting set because there's so many domes, so it'd be a lot more difficult to design. But I'd say just maybe have like the council section, just like a small like playset of the council section, kind of like they did with Cloud City, right? They just have a small playset. It's not the exterior isn't as accurate, but it's just the playset. Maybe of that, a few like pathways where you can see on the top where the Gungans walk around. Maybe even a bit of an exterior part of it where you have a few of the fishes that like swim in the place, and maybe even a hangar type of place for your like forget the name, the Gungan transport that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Jar Jar use. Oh, and next set we got that needs to be made is Dod Palace. Now, there are a variety of different things you can do. You can maybe just have a few different buildings and have like an exterior of them, and like have it open back like how they do with like Hogwarts castles, and make it a playset, and just a few random buildings like the main palace and a few buildings around it, a couple statues. That'd be really cool. Or maybe even have a section of the hangar bay that is seen nearing the end of the movie, or even have a portion where you have your like the queen and her like subjects being transported as prisoners, as seen on the bottom right, and the scene where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, they kind of come to save them. Another set. Now this I know isn't. This is actually the end of the movie, but I still added it here. This is maybe like a throne room scene. So again, part of the Gungan, or not Gungan, but the Dod Palace, where you have the throne room with Viceroy and his like other advisor and a few of the uh, Naboo like troopers, or even on the top where you have a section of the palace where we have like Padme and Captain Panaka and all the guys battling the droids. Another set that I think is a really big one that so many folks want to have actually be made is the Naboo Nubian Naboo Royal Starship. Now this would be a pretty interesting one because the color, it's a big chrome ship which is super expensive to make. So either, yes, as you see on the bottom left, you can use chrome bricks, but that'd be super expensive. And I think maybe what they can do instead is use that duller chrome. Like if you've seen the Knights Kingdom sets, those like Knights, the helmet that you can see here, that type of color, and just make bricks out of that, which is definitely a bit more easier to do. And make a ship like that where you can have a playset version so the top can open, you can fit a few guys inside. Kind of like a Sith infiltrator type of ship. Like how the Sith infiltrator design where the back is kind of larger and you can fit a minifigure, and the whole front just flips open and you can add a few smaller things. Something similar to the Sith infiltrator type of design. Next off, we got Mos Espa. This would be a great set to make. Really, Lego hasn't made actual too many really like buildings in Mos Espa or Mos Eisley for that matter, as basically everything that you see, like, again, yes, they made the cantinas, but we kind of need like maybe the Anakin like home, or maybe just a few random buildings from Mos Espa. I think that'd be really cool, or maybe even a bit of a remake of the lightsaber duel set, which is seen on the upper right. A few ideas for that. This on the left, actually, that is my own custom creation of Tatooine. It was like what, 9 feet long. So maybe a few buildings similar to how they're seen in here. On the top left, I have that like Anakin's like slave quarters. So maybe a small set with just a few random buildings and minifigures. I think that'd be pretty interesting to have. Next off, Watto's Junk Shop. Now this set kinda was remade, but or made in the past, but not really. They just said it was Watto's Junkyard, the one on the bottom right, but it's just a random pod racer. So what we need is actually a set of the actual Watto's Junk Shop. Have a like his like little counter with all the parts, droid parts, and then maybe you have a section of the exterior with a bunch of like junk and all that, like ship parts and stuff. I think that'd be a pretty cool set. You can see on the top left maybe like a shape of the building similar to how it's seen there. Next off, have some sort of a Senate pod. So the Senate repulsor pods, that'd be a big one. Pretty interesting set to have. You can see it on the top that it's seen in the movie. It's a pretty cool little part, and we haven't really got anything related to the Senate really in the past, so this would be a pretty interesting one. On the bottom, once again, is another one of my custom builds of the Senate repulsor pods. This would be a really easy way to build it. Again, the parts are pretty straightforward too, so it wouldn't be anything really too difficult to make. Maybe $10, $20 with, and maybe have just a random few senators. Next off, a set would be is the like a bit of a Gungan battle. So this is like the end battle of Star Wars Episode 1, where we have all the Gungans kind of like either on the animals like they have in the Gungan Patrol set, and have another one as you've seen. So basically a remake of the Gungan Patrol set, or you can have like just that large like animal that has a shield generator, maybe a big fig kind of thing of that, like a dewback sized one. That'd be pretty cool, and just maybe make even like a Gungan battle pack. I think that'd be really awesome as well. Next off, the AAT. Now, many of the LEGO Star Wars sets that need to be remade that are on this list are 2010 and before, except for this one, because I didn't like the 2014 AAT. I felt like LEGO kind of cheated a bit on that. They could have done much better. So I feel like what we need is a combination of the 2000 AAT and the 2009 AAT kind of combined. So like the colors of the 2000 AAT, but in the design of the 2009 AAT. I think that'd be a big one. Again, whatever, $50, and that would sell really well. And maybe even in that, you can include a few Gungans and like those Gungan animals as seen in this, so you can kind of combine the two together too. I think that'd be another great set to have. And the last set, in this case, that needs to be remade is a Droid Starfighter. So a Droid Starfighter, I mean, we've got a decent few of them, but we haven't really gotten a Episode 1 version, which is like a Trade Federation version in the brown. So maybe just make one that's like pretty much identical to the one seen on the bottom. That's from that Naboo Starfighter from 2007. So just make one like pretty much identical like that, and you can either include it in its own set, or again with a new Naboo Starfighter in the future. And I mean, Lego is making Naboo Starfighters like every few years, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they find another one and actually include this Droid Starfighter in it. But that I believe is the last set. So, anyways, there you go. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. Tell me what you guys think. Are there any other LEGO Star Wars Episode 1 sets you would like to see remade? Um, Tell me all about that down in the comments below. And one last thing. I know the images here of um, the Trade Federation landing craft and the Nubian Royal Starship, they are not my own design. I will have links in the description to both of the builders of these amazing mocks. I think they're really, really nice. Once again, link in the description to both of these builds. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Do not forget to subscribe down below and stay tuned for the Star Wars Episode 2 in detailed updated set ideas video coming actually very soon. But anyways, this is Break Wizard 59, and I'll see you all next time.